Quiet on the set, please.
Quiet on the set. Sound ready? And he's not ready yet.
He could be, though, in the future.
Not ready yet. Look at him. Almost ready. See, look like he's ready to you. He's not.
Don't they like yeah, okay.
Walking. He's going to talk to me now.
Yeah.
He's gonna talk. Should I keep this here or put it over here?
Yeah. We haven't got a product placement deal with Pepsi just yet,
No,
so
hell
we'll
with them.
give it up.
Hell with them. They can't take a joke. Or a joke if they can't take a whatever.
Yeah, we can. So we'll put that in. I'm with Bill Wallace,
Yes,
and
you are.
I am indeed, and we're still at the what's it called again? It's a martial arts show in Birmingham.
Yeah.
It is.
Yeah, TMAS.
They like to abbreviate it now because it's a bit of a mouthful.
TMAS.
Birmingham, yeah, it is the martial arts show. It's been very successful. Lots of people here.
A lot of people here. I thought there were more people here than there were last year.
Oh, really?
And yeah, and I had a ball last year. Everything went really well, and the seminars went well. And I haven't done my interview yet, but I'm having.
No, we're not having one now. But
We're not. No, we're just talking right now. This is not really going on, right?
That's right.
Oh, sure.
You're
So
still dreaming, yeah. Are
Ooh.
you away? Not dreaming about me, though, of course.
Well, you don't know that. I lived in L.A. for 20 years, so
Oh, okay. Yes,
you're missing half the fun if you don't go both ways. Remember that.
half the fun.
Stop it. Breathe. You have to breathe.
Yeah.
You have to breathe. Okay, I'm ready.
Now, you're still as fast, still kicking as high as repetitions as when I trained with you 10 years ago. And I have to say this, and just that couple of weeks of training with you, the ability in my legs and speed was just phenomenal. Just in 2 weeks of training, we were doing that one leg up, 50 kicks, put it down, and the flexibility. So I want to thank you for that, just at the stage.
But
yeah.
see, what people have to understand is, there's different philosophies on kicking.
Yeah.
My philosophy is just that, just one of the philosophies. But it's very good for me because, you just had Silvio here, who was a fantastic human being, a fantastic specimen. Well, there's no way on earth that I could ever be half as strong as he is. There's no way I can be strong. I'm 165 pounds.
Yeah.
But just maybe, I'm a little quicker. And if I'm a little quicker, maybe when I throw the technique, he reacts to it. And when he reacts to it, he walks into something else.
Yeah.
And that's what I have to rely on.
Yeah.
Because I don't have that strength. I don't have that power. And I've always believed in speed, you develop a certain amount of power.
Yeah.
But not necessarily in power do you have speed. So sneaky is fun.
No, I know you're sneaky. I know that you're playing with Wayne in there, and he's saying he's sneaky. You can't see those things in there.
And that's what it has to be.
Yeah, that's right. He is. He's doing that too. He's doing a lot of. You're doing a lot of seminars still,
place, yeah.
and all over the place. Your schedule must be very busy.
Yeah, knock on wood. But yeah, I'm 66 years old.
Yeah.
I feel absolutely phenomenal. Nothing hurts. I wake up every morning and I kind of wonder what's going to fall off. Because nothing hurts. And I keep thinking, well, it could be my age because it might hurt and I just don't remember where.
Yeah.
But everything works fantastic.
Is it
I
because
still have the flexibility.
Yeah.
Still have the I would like to call it quickness, not speed per se, but the quickness, because the floppiness of the leg just works really well for me.
No, you had the history of that left knee that was damaged in the judo.
The right one, yeah.
The right one. That's the left one, the opposite one to the that one.
Not super feet.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, it would have been super feet. Yeah.
Well, we don't know that.
Yeah.
It might have been terrible with both of them.
Yeah.
It would have been good with one,
Well, you made up with the hands as well with the boxing drills. I know they came in.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, with the operations now, no problems with the other. Did you have that operation?
I had a brand new knee put in on the right one.
Yeah.
And I had that done in 2003 because it was just gone.
Well, it lasted pretty well, didn't it? Really?
Oh, it's doing great. Yeah, it lasted 36 years.
Yeah.
I tore it up in 66.
Yeah.
And the guy said, the doctor in California said, well, we want to operate. Well, back in 1966, there was no such thing as arthroscopic surgery. It was called exploratory. Yeah, it was called exploratory.
Yeah.
So I said, what do you want to do? He says, well, we want to go in and look at it. Yeah. And I said, well, what are you going to do? Well, we don't know. Well, what happens if you operate on it? He says, well, 50-50, it'll be fine. I said, what if you don't operate on it? Well, 50-50, it'll be fine. Bye.
Yeah.
See you later. But with the success that they've had now with the surgeries and so forth, with the total replacements. I mean, I've had a total replacement in this 2003, and I can't tell now that I've ever had a problem with it. I can kneel down on it, I can fall on it, I can twist and turn it, and have no problem with it at all. You know.
Talking about the kicking again, for that one leg, when you say, well, my other leg's damaged, I can't use it, do you think that's what put you together in getting the speed and the agility, because you kept using it?
Had to be. You know, I mean, the right leg, the right leg did a fantastic job of holding me up. Yeah. I mean, I'll never badmouth the leg, because I've never fallen with it, never twisted, never hurt itself, but you know, I couldn't straighten it out because it would lock out or come out of place. But it did a superb job of holding me up, so that's great. But understand, and this is the thought of it. Look at tennis players. You don't see a tennis player say, okay, this is for the Grand Slam, Wimbledon, let's say. I think I'll play this match right-handed. Yeah. And then I'll play the semifinal match left-handed. No! He's going to keep one-handed the entire time. You don't see him switch hands. Watch golfers.
Yeah, well, I've watched it. I play golf with you, so I know.
Exactly.
Yeah.
They don't, well, I'm going to play this whole left hand, I'll play you can't do that. Yeah. But see, boxers don't switch either. They stay one side. Yeah. Every once in a while, one of them will change sides. Yeah. But martial artists, we're taught to work both sides since day one. Why? So you can be just as good one side as the other side, which will never happen. You know, which will never happen. I'm going to always be stronger one side than the other side. Nobody is perfectly ambidextrous. Yeah. So why not build up the really good side? Luckily, I tore up my bad knee. Yeah. I'm left-handed, I'm left-legged. But I'm left-handed, left-legged. So it held me up. And when you do 35,000 kicks with your left leg, and then turn around and do 35,000 kicks with your right leg, you get pretty good with both legs. Yeah. What if you do 70,000 kicks with just your left leg?
Well, mine would probably snap in half by then.
But my left leg is my bread and butter. So now I get really good with that left leg. I say kick, and it said I already did. Yeah. Because you don't have to think about it. You don't have to, think about this. If you take a fighter, pick him up, throw him against the wall. When he gets back up, he's got to decide which side he's going to fight from, depending on you also. I have no choice. I'm going to stand up, face you left side forward, sideways, because I have to protect this leg. Yeah.
When you were competing in your competing days, people knew that they watched your stars or what is it, and then you still Fox. I remember you telling me I even kicked with this supporting leg once, and I got him. Yeah,
I'm 1 for 1.
Yeah,
I scored with it every time I throw it.
Yeah,
I'm 1 for 1.
That's the one. So what are you doing after the seminars here? You're traveling around. Are you cutting that back? Because I know you said you're 66 and you're still fresh as a daisy.
I feel great. Yeah, I'm supposed to go down to London and do a couple seminars. Yeah. And then Mr. Clifton asked me to come back in October. Yeah. They want to do some things with the MMA stuff, I think. Okay. And I might come back and do a series of seminars for him back then. So work on that a little bit, some ideas and how to travel around. And because I like to see people kicking. Yeah. Not my way, but just, with the kicking aspect of it, kicking is longer than your arm is. Yeah. Your leg is longer than your arm is. It has the same muscular structure primarily. Yeah. It has the same bone structure primarily. It just we have a ball and socket joint for the hip as a sliding joint primarily for the shoulder. Even though they call it a ball and socket joint, it's always been a sliding joint because there's 3 bones involved: the scapula, the clavicle, and humerus. So those 3 bones slide around. You got all kinds of this flexibility. It's not that heavy. The leg is heavy, weighs almost a third of your total weight. So why try to force it? Why not just let it snap? I try to teach people to let the knee act just like the wrist. You can do this 35,000 times, and I can keep talking to you all the time. But if I boom, boom, now I got to worry about the elbow locking out, maybe hyperextending. Yeah. But I've never had that problem. I've been kicking now for a long time, and I've never had a problem with the left leg kicking.
What is it that you said no aches and pains? What is it? Just the circulation, the constant movement? I'm talking about old people, like, as we get into old age of training. I'm only 53, but a lot of people complain about aches and pains and stuff. What is the secret?
Silvio's here, so this is my fun part. Nutrition is very important. Yeah. You have to really have great lubrication, because when you're eating, if you notice, of all the kicking that I've ever done, nobody's ever heard a squeak when I kick.
It's just when you walked in before. Was that the door?
That was the door there. Okay. But see, you have to understand, hamburgers are very important. Yeah. Hamburgers have grease. Yeah. And when you eat the hamburger with the body heat and so forth, keeps that grease nice and a soft fluid, right? So it dissipates through your stomach and everything into the joints, so it's good lubrication. The trouble is, hamburger grease, when it cools down, solidifies.
Oh, yeah.
That's why you have to eat French fries.
Oh, that's
French fries with the natural
saturated
fats and the vegetable oils and so forth.
Yeah.
Keep that hamburger grease a nice soluble liquid.
Yeah, it keeps it in place.
Yeah, it keeps it in place. So when it digests through your stomach, into your intestines and so forth, and dissipates into the different joints,
Fantastic.
you have that great lubrication.
We don't have to worry about the heart in this. The heart has nothing to play with.
Oh, no.
Doesn't the congregate when the
It's a pump.
Okay.
It's a pump.
Yeah.
And the best part about it is you have that aftertaste after you eat the French fries and hamburger, ice cream.
Fantastic.
Ice cream takes all that taste out of your mouth.
Yeah.
But then, if you're going to train later,
Yeah.
it gives you like a cotton mouth. You know, it has a dry, sticky taste.
Yeah.
Pepsi, Coca-Cola. So it washes all that stuff out.
That's fantastic.
Yeah,
That's great
it
advice.
works absolutely phenomenal.
Yeah. And living proof. There you go.
Yeah. And I haven't gained a pound in 30-some years.
Yeah.
I retired at 1980 at 165 pounds, and I still weigh 165. So eat your hamburgers, eat your French fries, and ice cream is absolutely fantastic.
Eat what you like. That's fantastic advice.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
okay, you know, on good things, I don't eat a lot.
Yeah.
You know, what I eat a little bit, but I burn more calories than I eat. So
Well, that's the secret, isn't it, really?
That's the secret. That's the entire secret. You know, I'm good friends with Lou Ferrigno.
Yeah.
And we did Superstars back in 1976 in California, or excuse me, in Florida. And we were talking one time. He says, you know what? You can tell people that are nuts for bodybuilding, and you could tell them you eat bark, and a young up-and-comer will believe you. Because if the natural guys, if the big guys eat bark, it must be good.
Yeah. And it must work.
Yeah, it must work, so I'm going to eat bark.
Yeah.
And people believe that. Look at martial artists. You tell them something, and they believe it.
Yeah.
Well, search it out for
Hey,
yourself.
you've been doing that for years.
Yeah. Yeah. Well done burgers, you know, so there's nothing here to
That's right.
bleed back.
Now, when are you doing more DVDs? Those DVDs you've done, the great ones in the 70s and stuff, the Panther stuff. Still learning from those. But what are you doing in the future? Are you doing something new?
Well, I have some people ask me things. Paul Clifton and I were doing some things last December, some of the teaching things. But the ideas are out there, you know. Again, I'm old, I'm slow, but I'm still flexible, and the leg still works.
Yeah.
So it's teaching people how to use that front leg like somebody else would use their front hand. You know, you watch the Kimbo people, you watch the Kung Fu people, you watch the boxers, the Muay Thai people. You have the jab, you have the hook, you have the back fist, you have the ridge hand. Well, you can do all that same movement with the front leg. Not as strong, not as hard, but as quick if you have the flexibility, if you have the agility. And that's always just been fun for me.
One last
Hitting people in the head.
Yeah. One last question is about training and what are you doing in your daily routine now? I'm just thinking as I'm getting into more mature as well, and a lot of the viewers will be thinking, how can he maintain? What would be your ideal routine for physical training?
I'm 66 years old.
Yeah.
I'm not going to get any stronger, chances are. I'm not going to get any faster, chances are. I can maintain my flexibility. I can maintain my strength, and I can maintain my speed simply by working out, teaching the muscles what to do, and letting the muscles do it. You know, in every movement that you have an agonistic movement and an antagonistic movement. The agonistic movement is the muscles that do the work. You know, like a back fist. The tricep does the movement. A muscle always pulls, it never pushes. So you have your agonistic muscle group that does the work. Then you have your antagonistic muscle groups that fight against that work. Always a push-pull. So if you can teach the antagonistic muscle groups to relax, now the only muscle that's really doing the work is the agonistic muscle group, and you have your speed. But most of us want to be strong and powerful, so both muscle groups are fighting each other.
Yeah. Makes a lot of sense. Well, Bill, thanks for being on the show.
My pleasure.
Superfoot Wallace, and we'll see more of him in the show. He's here for 2 days or more, and more someone else.
I'll be here.
And thanks again.
Thank you, sir.
Thanks, Bill.
My pleasure.
Can I get a pow?